everything around. You're gonna live your life. There's a beautiful day headed your way. Keep your head up, up, up. You'll be okay. Beautiful day waiting for you. Just open your eyes and see it's true. A beautiful day.
I want to say welcome. I am so excited today. And at this time this evening, it's 9 at night and it's Tuesday night. And our theme for every Tuesday night is it's all about the royalty. Now, we're not just talking about royalty from in England or anywhere else. We're talking about beautiful senior women in a senior pageants group, Pageant. And they have done amazing things. And they are here and we're going to find out all about them. So what's exciting about that is anybody that is interested over 50 and 60 to be in a pageant, and it is about the glitz. It's all about having a showcase for you for all those life experiences. That's why we love this, and we love listening and meeting new royals. And so right now I'm so excited because we definitely have some excellent guests tonight. I can't wait to share that with you. Right now, the president of pageant group is James Kimsey. And then we also have our director of senior pageants groups, Marianne Hamilton. And it definitely incredible people making a difference. And we sure do appreciate them. We have some pageant dates coming soon. Miss Universe pageant is going to be next January 2nd, I believe, through the 5th in 2024 in Las Vegas, of all wonderful places. And then our Miss Senior USA will be on a cruise ship in summer next year. So there's so much happening and ready to go. We have our reigning queens that we've had from the 23 pageant that was just a couple of months ago. And we have some great women. So right now, I can't wait to introduce this woman. She is definitely a woman on the go. Her name is Tracy Marshall. She has just recently received the Global Women of Excellence Award in 2023, including a Congressional Medallion in recognition of her continued years of mental health advocacy. She was one of 20 women recognized in Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. That is absolutely incredible. So let's meet Tracy. And Tracy, we're so glad to have you here today.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine. Thank you so much.
What I'm excited about, and I'm just going to I have some pictures of some wonderful past with you, but how did you get involved with Senior Pageants Group and with your advocacy?
Wow. So actually both actually started back in 2017, quite interestingly enough. I became involved with some of the World Pageantry Group pageants, which consist of a lot of the females from India and some of the Asian countries. And so I started off as a photographer, actually covering some of the pageants, not knowing that I would one day actually be involved with it. And the connection is actually this beautiful young lady that's joined us here, Peggy. And she's actually my connection to the senior pageants group under James Kimsey. And so we met at the airport. We were both nominated for awards at the Global Beauty Awards. And so we met at the airport, and she had on her sash and crown, and I was wearing my street clothes and, looking for the right flight. And I saw this gorgeous young lady, and I knew I was in the right place and on the right flight. So, and yeah, and so I just, I became so involved with kind of covering some of these events and the behind the scenes, and being nominated for Best Coach actually was the beginning by now current Miss World America, Cherie Sani, and her mom, Ekta Sani. They're the ones that actually nominated me for Best Coach back in 19, which is how I met Peggy. So that was a beautiful way to meet.
It is a beautiful way, and you have done so much for many others. You're based in Georgia, but you have this, we have some photos I just want to talk through. Look how gorgeous you are. Let's talk about some of these photos, and we'll get back to your advocacy.
So the one on the left, I guess that would be, I'm not sure, well, I guess on my left, was done for a photo shoot. I was supposed to actually perform, or at least walk the runway at New York Fashion Week. That would have been my second time. The first time was through James Kimsey and the senior pageants group. So that was a photo shoot in anticipation of me participating, but due to the loss of my father recently, I had to put a lot of things on hold. And then the picture on the right was actually at the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce meeting. And it was an opportunity to, get out there and mingle and kind of be known out there as a mental health advocate, in addition to what I do as my business, which is I own my own photography business as well. So I guess I'm branding myself more and more, in the space that I feel comfortable in, which is mental health advocacy and women empowerment.
I'm absolutely impressed with you. Look how beautiful you are. Just gorgeous, just regal. With that, where was this picture taken?
So this was actually taken about 5 years ago, and it was done professionally. The gentleman came in, it was a former boss. I have a background in IT, business development as well. And the owner's husband, Gary Grace, he actually took that picture. So I came in early, he brought in the lights, and I mean, just amazing. And then he sent it to post-production and cleared up and just made me look, different. And I love it. And that's the one picture that I go to without fail for every single request when it comes to the profile photo.
No, just absolutely beautiful. Let's talk about these beautiful photos.
So I had the opportunity to meet on a couple of occasions, actually 2 former Miss Universes. And the one on, I guess, my left would be the most current one, Arnaz or Sandhu. And I actually received an award. I was actually in the pageant at the time, but I didn't, want to, I didn't wear my sash or crown or anything representing India like I did with the next group. I wanted to accept the award from Miss Universe, and it was so exciting to have met her. And actually, that was recent. That was only last year. And then the group on the other side is with the Bollywood actress Sara Ali Khan. And it was an opportunity for me to actually come out into the Indian world as a contestant in my 60s. And so they felt, the organizers, that because that's atypical to our culture, that, that was something that, they wanted to commend me on, as I was still continuing to do mental health advocacy. So as I'm being pictured with everyone, I'm concurrently working on the Georgia Behavioral Health Task Force and now chairing it in my year 7. So everything kind of started at the same time, very interestingly, in 2017 and 16.
It was definitely your time to make a positive difference, and they're shouting about it. I think that's just phenomenal, definitely. So this is cute as heck. Let's talk about this.
So this was where Peggy and I met. This is at the Global Beauty Awards. We met on the airport, but this was what I had worn, and this was taken by the GBA staff themselves on the one side, and then the other side was taken through my camera, and I just kind of turned it into a black and white. And my mom actually said, you must send these two pictures out. So these are actually favorites of my mom, and I kind of like them myself.
Great. I just love it. Looks like you just have so much fun and you're just glistening. Now this is fun. Let's talk about this.
So this is the first award I received. This was in 2019 as well, the year Peggy and I met. And this is Sushmita Sen. This is former Miss Universe 1994. And she happens to be from India. And as is Arnaz, the more recent one. So there was a big gap in between the titles coming to India. And this was for women empowerment and mental health advocacy. They wanted to make sure, again, I was one of 12 women selected nationally. This was in New York at a red carpet gala. And I was one of 12, and they were really wanting me on there because we don't talk about mental health in our culture. It's like a taboo, it's shame, it's you sweep it under the carpet. And so now that, I'm coming out talking about it, people are now engaging these courageous conversations, and I'm able to break down these barriers that, that are set forth by society. So I have been a panelist, and I talk about global perspectives on behavioral health, talking about how certain cultures, view certain things differently, and the expectations may be higher, which lead to more suicide rates as well. So that's my subject matter expertise, is suicide awareness, education, and prevention. And that's where my training is. And that's what I speak about, is how to recognize signs and symptoms, and, how do we talk about these conversations and actually not judge, and actually help and reach out to that person, because you could be that person that's going to save that person's life.
Excellent. I just love your advocacy, and it's definitely needed out there. I like these fun photos. Let's talk about them.
So the one on the left is the same dress that I had on for the event that I received from the award I received with Arnaz. And then the one on the right actually is probably the oldest of them all. And I went to an urban fashion show with a lot of, they were showcasing a lot of the Black fashion, African-American fashion designers. And so I decided to kind of get a little racy and wear something kind of cute and sexy a little bit. And that was a picture that my mom once again said, I like that one because it's showing a playful side of you.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it is. It's wonderful, playful. Now let's talk about this glamorous shot.
So honestly, this was a professional photo shoot. And this I had in preparation for a couple of, again, upcoming projects. And I honestly fell in love with this. Honestly, I don't know what it is. I look at myself thinking, I kind of wished I would have maybe worn, done my makeup a little bit more dramatic with the eyes. But then I look at it going, well, that's what makes it different, is I didn't. And so I just decided I was going to kind of have fun with it. And I normally am behind the camera as a photographer. So for me, that was like, okay, what do I do? I'm watching all girls do this all day long, but then when it's time for you to be on the other side, sometimes, you have that freezing in front of the camera. But I think that I really love that shoot. That's probably one of my favorites. I love the color, just soft.
Yeah, it is very soft. I love it too. Now, one thing I want to ask you, okay, many women, they don't have a taste. They don't get into pageants or don't do anything like that. How has it changed you by dolling up once in a while and taking care of yourself and just getting out in the forefront?
I think that each woman is beautiful. I mean, every single person has so much beauty that you just have to bring it out, and I think makeup is definitely helpful. And I think that once women, just kind of play around with makeup a little bit, it empowers you. It makes you feel good about yourself. And then as you're watching others who are maybe in their 60s and 70s as role models, taking great care of themselves and looking fabulous, that's a message that we want to share with everyone. Just because you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 100, you are still beautiful. Every single piece of you is beautiful. And I think that once we realize that beauty is in and out, and that's why our time has come to where we are wanting to show that we can still come in good shape and present ourselves nicely. But at the same time, what are we doing simultaneously? Like you said, there's so much more of us than just what you see or what you hear. And so, yeah, we are women of substance. And I can't wait for you to speak to Peggy. And she's one of my role models and mentors as well.
I absolutely love that. I love everything about who you stand for. This month is the last couple of days of Mental Wellness Month. Let's talk about this fabulous month and why you are attached to it.
Well, I'm so excited because this is mental health, National Mental Health Awareness Month. So this is something that has been rolled out, obviously, total countrywide. And it just gives us an opportunity to advocate, advocate for those who are suffering in silence. Those of us who maybe don't know where to go, what to do. They just rolled out with a 988 suicide hotline. So instead of dialing 911, and most likely that person's going to be incarcerated, right? Even though they may not belong in the criminal justice system, they may need mental health or behavioral health assistance. So July 16th of last year, on a national basis, they rolled out with 988. So please, if you or anyone you know is in need of emotional support, or if you or someone you know is thinking or having suicide thoughts, suicide ideation, then we need to definitely point them to the right direction and the right resources. So please listen to people. If they come to you, don't judge them and don't react. But if you do listen to them, make sure you are consoling them and not leading them into further destruction. So each person has a very pivotal role in really impacting the outcome of that particular person. And one day that could be you.
I love it. Any last thoughts to share your message with Get Back in Life if you aren't already, and you are okay just the way you are?
Yes. And it's also okay not to be okay. So on that same line, please, if you or anyone you know is suffering, is maybe, acting atypical to their normal behavior, they're talking about, things would be better if I weren't here, please, no matter what culture, race, ethnicity, who you identify as, we all are human and we all need to support one another. And this opportunity of us being in the senior pageantry group has empowered each and every one of us to share our wisdom and our stories with others so that we can say, hey, look, ladies, it's not over once you're in your 50s or 60s. In fact, you can actually look better and feel better later on in life. So I'm actually happy to say I've actually lost 30 to 40 pounds and lost it and have kept it off. And so there are a lot of success stories. I'm divorced. I was able to make sure my kids were on the right track as a single parent. And so to me, if you or I can volunteer, so can everyone else. So I say the last thing I want to say is, women, empower yourselves, but don't forget about yourself. You have to give yourself the gift of love, compassion, grace, and make sure that you give yourself permission to take a break and not always say yes to everyone. Remove that noise out of your life. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. This has been amazing.
I love it. And thank you so much. I just absolutely love who and what you stand for. Thank you so much, Tracy. We sure appreciate it. Tracy Marshall. And the friend she was talking about is coming up next. I'm so excited. Miss Senior Georgia, USA, and she is clogger, talented, everything about her. She's just so personable, and she definitely knows about living life. So we're going to bring on Peggy Fowler. Peggy, I'm so glad that you are here today. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me to be a part of this, and I'm excited and I'm honored to be here tonight.
Let's, I got quite a few pictures I want you to talk about. Let's talk about you and getting involved with the senior pageants group.
Well, I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. I'm a member, or was a member, of a dance group that consists of seniors, and we travel all over and do shows, and some of us dance, some of us sing, some of us do waltz routines and comedy, and I'm a part of that group. And the director was invited to go to a meet and greet in Las Vegas in 2016. I had never been to Las Vegas and I wanted to go. So she asked me if I'd like to be her traveling companion. So I went with her for that reason. Well, the next thing I know, I'm on the phone talking to some of the associates with the Miss Senior USA pageant. And by the time I finished the conversation, they said, you come on out here to meet and greet, and we will put you in this pageant. You will be a part of this pageant.
Oh, wow. How exciting, Peggy. That's so exciting. What a great way to start. Look at you. Woohoo. This is beautiful. Let's talk about these pictures.
Well, the one on my left, I have a friend that I met through a hometown pageant whose daughter has mitochondrial disease. It's where her white blood cells don't produce enough energy and muscle. I think that's, I'm trying to remember. But she was beautiful, beautiful child. And she was in pageants. So I got to know them really, really well. I started helping them with the pageants to raise money for the little girl to go to therapy. So they had hometown pageants, and I began emceeing and doing the pageants and anything to help them raise the money to help that child get the help that she needed. And now she's right about 20 now, and she's still beautiful, wonderful personality.
And it's beautiful. And then you're standing in the middle with the publisher of the world-renowned pageant magazine.
Yes, that's Carl Dunn, CEO of Pageantry magazine. And that's the first time I met him. That was at the 2019 Global Beauty Awards when I won the Miss Denise White Award. And that's for people who have gone through the foster care system. I had been in an orphanage until I was about 2. I spent time in the orphanage, and as much as I hate to admit it, I wished I'd have stayed in the orphanage. But I overcome a lot to win that. I had a rough childhood, and I had to fight a lot of obstacles, but I overcame. And I always dreamed of being in a pageant and prove to myself first, hey, I can do this. Because most I ever heard was what you cannot do instead of what I could do.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
I'm sorry.
I said, you're just beautiful here. Now, has anyone said you look like Reba McEntire?
Yes, they do. And I just think that is the biggest compliment. I love it.
It is a big compliment. Yeah. Well, I'm going to have you just explain these beautiful pictures of you.
Okay, the one on the right, the blue gown, that was one of my clock-in pageants that I went to. I won a community service award. I won Miss Epic, EPIC, Adult Epic. I did my clogging routine. I was in an interview, and I did very, very, very well. So those are my winnings. That was in 2011. And the one on the right, when I went to the meet and greet in 2016, I didn't know that I was going to end up being a founding queen and a Hall of Fame member. But they put me in the pageant. They gave me an opportunity to be in it, and it was a dream come true. And I was so thankful for that because it gave me a chance first to prove to myself, hey, I can do this too. I can. And I've been with them since they started. The first pageant was in 2017. And I love it. It's just a wonderful opportunity. My main goal in being in the pageant is to reach out to those who have had a lot of obstacles in their life. I know what it's like. I have a caring heart. I want to reach out to those who need encouragement. And that's my goal in this pageant, is to be an inspiration to others and encourage them.
You definitely are, Peggy. Beautiful, beautiful. And we have here you different ages here. So let's talk about
Yes.
that.
Well, that's me in high school when I was in 1967. And, you know, we're always our worst critic. And that one in 1967, I said, oh, Lord. But as I've gotten older, I'm thinking, I wasn't too bad looking. I was pretty good. You know, I was pretty. I didn't think so then. And I thought, well, I think I'll just combine the two pictures to see what I look like then and what I look like now. And so that's why I combined those two pictures.
And then a NASCAR pit crew. Let's talk about that.
I'm sorry.
NASCAR pit crew picture.
Oh, okay. I make my own costumes. I'm very creative. I love to use my imagination. I can come up with ideas that nobody else would even think of. Most of my costumes that I do for shows and for the pageants, I make them myself. I create them out of my own mind. And some of them I don't even have a pattern. I just do it. I just start doing it, whatever it comes out like. And I can take junk. My husband calls it good junk, and make something decorative out of it. I love to work in the yards. So I'll take some of his old junk that he's got and make something to put in our garden.
That's beautiful. What a talent. That's great. When was this taken?
It was taken in 2017, the first pageant that Miss Senior USA had. Yes. And that's all of us. That's all of us. Huh?
I said that's a huge group. That's just beautiful.
Yes, it is. And I've made so many precious Queen sisters, met them in lifetime Queen sisters and friends.
Yeah. Well, you're easy to like, Peggy. I think everybody wants to be your friend.
Oh, that's sweet. Well, I like to be everybody's friend. It's fun. Yeah. That's me and my usual roommate sitting next to me, Joni. And somebody help me out. That is Tracy. Do you recognize that one in the back?
That's Becky Wu. That's Becky Wu.
Becky Wu. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Tracy. We were eating dinner and just taking pictures. This was in Las Vegas. Oh, yeah. The one on the right, or my right, that shows you what I think about clogging. I love it. It's just, clogging has been at the root of all that I've accomplished once I began to learn to clog. I just felt limited, but once I became a clogger and I became a professional clogger, about drove my clogging teachers crazy. I wanted to learn everything. If I saw something hard, I wanted to learn it. But it gave me self-confidence and showed me that, hey, I do have a talent. And the one on the left is when we were in Las Vegas at the meet and greet. We were just having a ball, just having a lot of fun.
I think you have a ball wherever you go. Look at you. What award were you getting on this one?
This was my talent award. I won the talent award in 2020 and 2021. Yeah. That was the Miss Senior USA pageant in Las Vegas. And that was my talent award for clogging.
Excellent. Congratulations. What about the gift of love photo?
Okay, is that in there?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. It's a community in the county where I live, Douglas County, Georgia. The gift of love is where they pack up food and take food to the different schools in Douglas County, Georgia, for the children to have food at home when they get home, because there's so many, they don't get to eat until they get to school. So I help them with the packing of the bags that we deliver and delivering them. My husband and I both deliver the packages to the different schools. And the children take them home with them. We supply them with book bags at the beginning of every year. It's called the gift of love.
Oh, I love that. Beautiful. Oh, now this picture, I couldn't figure this one out.
That's my clogging group.
Oh,
We were performing at Stone Mountain, Georgia, at their Yellow Daisy Festival. And the one on the right, second, the blue one, that's me, if you can tell which one it is. But anyway, if you count down the third clogger from the right, that's me. And it's all my cloggers. I had about 18 at the time. We were dancing at a festival at Stone Mountain.
beautiful. Beautiful. I absolutely love that.
You know, I choreographed all the dances. I choreographed them myself and taught them.
Oh, I love it. So you created your own group of kids.
Yeah,
Oh, and very good. I wasn't sure about that. I love it. What I'm going to do is bring us all on together because it is so much fun how uniquely you two met, least likely expected, and
Yeah,
wonderful world that you're doing together.
I think it was meant to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you all both live in Georgia. Do you live near each other in Georgia?
No, we live on opposite sides of Atlanta. I live on the west side. She lives on the east side. Is that correct, Tracy?
Yeah, Northeast. Yeah, very close. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So I was waiting at the airport in the terminal, waiting for my plane to leave, and this lady came up and said, is this flight going to Las Vegas?" And I said,
Seattle.
"Yeah." And I said, "Yes, it is." She said, "And you said, oh, I'm glad, because I wasn't sure if this is where I needed to be. And you mentioned that you was going to the Global Beauty Awards." And I said, "Well, I am too." And it just, from there it went, and we got to sit together on the flight, and we've been friends ever since. She's
Oh
been
my God, it was amazing. Friends for life.
yeah,
Absolutely. I adore you.
just connected so easily.
That
And
is absolutely amazing. Well, I
yeah,
absolutely love Georgia. I divorced my children's father. They were born in Nashville, and I went down to Georgia with 4 children on my own and went to Kennesaw State. And I moved to Lawrenceville, and I love Stone Mountain and American Ventures because that's what helped entertain my kids with that. So I love Georgia, Red Top Mountain, all those places. So
I was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia.
oh, I love it. Very, very good. Yeah, I love Georgia. It has peace in my heart. Have you always been in Georgia, Tracy, or how long have you lived there?
So I'm actually originally from Nebraska, but I think you're gonna get a kick out of what I'm gonna say next. I was born in Idaho,
No way.
Moscow.
No way. That's so cool.
So my dad was at Washington State University in Pullman, and both my brother and I were actually born across the river, across the border,
Mhm.
and fell right into Idaho. We never lived in Idaho, but the birthplace is Moscow, Idaho. And when I saw your pageantry title in Idaho, I couldn't wait to tell you that.
I couldn't wait to tell you both. I lived in Georgia for quite some time, so it's a single mom. So
It's a small world, isn't it?
we just swapped places. Well, I really enjoyed getting to know both you. You are both treasures, just precious treasures. And you're both doing so much to give and help others. And I just appreciate your example. Thank you.
I enjoy it, and it's my dream come true.
It is. So what's next? What's next for you, Peggy?
What's next? I'm working on another talent.
Oh, okay.
I've had some back surgery, so I'm working on another talent that I've been told I have. And so hopefully that when I go to the next pageant, I'll be able to actually perform. And so that's my goal, working on that. And
Well, excellent. What about for you, Tracy?
So I think I'm just going to continue one by one, breaking down barriers and letting people know it's okay not to be okay, and just letting all the communities, including communities of color, just let them know, let's not hide behind curtains and bury our heads underneath the sand, and let's actually put everything on the table and let's talk about it. And we talk about raising kids, you know, with as a community, well, that's what we now we need to be about it now. We need to actually walk that walk and let the community heal us, because that's what we're all here for, is to help each other get through all the obstacles. And we have enjoyed this immensely. Peggy and I are honored to be on here with you. You're doing amazing things, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk about our stories and, you know, kind of like who we are, so that, you know, everyone can kind of get to know us and hopefully follow us and watch for big things, new talents, existing talents of Peggy. I think I know what she's going to be doing, so I'm hoping it is what it is. And I still have to figure out what I'm going to be doing, but I think I'm very much into spoken word and poetry, so I'm thinking I might put a spin on something like that.
Excellent. Well, I cannot wait. This will be another interview, right? When it's all exposed and out there. I appreciate you too. We're going to move on and close the show out. But again, thank you so very much. You're absolutely delightful. And it's all about making a positive difference here with 9 at Night. It's all about the royalty. And again, our pageant, we have the Miss Universe and Miss Senior USA coming up next year. And we're so excited. Wonderful queens for this reigning year. We have new reigns you're going to be meeting next year and the year after, but it's all about what are they doing in their daily life. And you're hearing some of these queens, they really are making a positive difference for others. So thank you, and tune in to the next. It's all about the royalty next Tuesday night at 9 at Night.
You're gonna break new ground, turn everything around. You're gonna live your life. There's a beautiful day headed your way.